And now, more You Talk. Now.
It's Steve, and I am back again with our very own Dr. Josh. We've been having a lot of different conversations, and this conversation we're about to have is probably going to take a whole lot longer than what we have time right now for, but we want to start the conversation. And it's about bullying. Bullying is so huge today. I think it's out of control. But I do think there's an issue too, and maybe we can hit this quickly, the difference between teasing and bullying. Because somebody can tease you,
sure, and
they're not bullying you. So how do we know where that line is, okay?
Well, and it's an important consideration because sometimes bullying is happening and there are people who say, oh, it was just teasing.
Ah, yes.
So it is important to consider, and I would say even as I'm talking out loud, whenever we use that word just in front of something, it usually means we're minimizing something that's going on. One of the things I would really consider in this is the person being teased or bullied, what is their experience? To me, that's probably the most important aspect of this is how do they respond? How do they react? In part, we have a relationship.
Yes.
We have a warm, positive relationship.
Yes.
You're teasing me. I'm doing air quotes here for those on the phone.
Yeah.
I mean, out of love. And I know that. And we're laughing truly together.
Yes.
It's like we're having fun and we both know it. I think that's an aspect of teasing. Bullying, for sure, on my end, if I interpret it as you're cutting me down in some way.
Okay.
I'm taking it as an insult or something.
And it's meant
like
as
that.
an insult. And it's meant to be destructive.
So that's where it's when you have the intention and the experience as negative, that's clearly bullying. When you have the intent and the experience as positive, that's probably more on the teasing side.
Okay.
The problem is when those don't match up, ultimately.
Okay.
To me, I go back to still, what's the experience of the person who is on the receiving end? Frankly, if you meant it as good-hearted, but I was hurt by it, would it matter if it was really teasing?
No, it really wouldn't. But I would want to know that the way you received it was not the way I sent it. And this is communication we're talking about here.
Absolutely.
I would want to know, especially because of our relationship, our friendship, so that I could go back to you and say, Josh, I'm sorry. It was meant, you know me, I'm kind of a, goofball, and I didn't mean it to hurt you, but I'm really sorry. Would you, forgive me?
It was meant out of love.
Yeah.
And again, there's that relational piece.
Sure.
So I'm kind of thinking here, too, that teasing probably has a relationship around it more than bullying. However, loved ones, I think, can bully each other as well.
Yes.
That's a piece. I would even say, as another example, is my wife. She loves teasing me. She comes from a family where they tease each other. I'll be honest, there's parts where I'm like, I don't like being teased that way. It doesn't feel like teasing.
Yes.
It's not fun. It's not lighthearted.
Yes.
Is that really bullying? I don't experience it as bullying. She's doing it lighthearted and fun. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I guess you could put that in a gray zone area. It's not bullying. I don't consider it teasing.
See, it's funny you say that because I have a relative who is that way with me. I think he really means it to be teasing, but it's so... It just doesn't come across like teasing, I guess, because it happens so much. And I guess on the flip side, too, I don't hear positive things from him.
And there's a key part to it. And it probably depends on our mood and a lot of things. If I've just had a really rough day and then somebody teases me about something, I may be more sensitive to that and go, you know what? This isn't cool right now.
Yeah.
So to me, I go back to... There's the terms we throw out there, especially if there's a question of did bullying happen and somebody wants to define it as teasing instead, I'd be very cautious to do that, especially without understanding what was the impact.
Sure.
And to sometimes labels don't matter.
No.
What was the experience? Is somebody hurt emotionally? If the answer is yes, then we should do something about it. Ultimately.
No, we really should. So now let's jump both feet into bullying. Bullying is mean.
Yeah.
It's just become so mean. And of course, that's why we've started the new campaign, #GoodbyeToMean. Let's say goodbye to that.
Absolutely.
And I think oftentimes we don't talk about the bully.
Yep.
It's bad enough being bullied, but that bully is struggling or they wouldn't be bullying.
Frequently. I think as I've reflected and we look at things across our country and world, there's a lot of talk about meanness and kindness. And a lot of it, this is my personal reflections, come down to power a lot of times.
Oh, yes, absolutely. No question.
And that I want to be in power, so I'll be mean. I control my power, and I keep you in your place by being mean. Kindness for many people in many of our cultures feels like I'm giving up power.
Oh, I never thought about it that way, but you're right. And it isn't. Being kind isn't giving up power.
It's more powerful.
It is definitely more powerful.
When you experience
when you experience it.
Sharing power with one another, giving of myself is powerful at whole nother levels. It's different than, I'm better than you, Steve, and I'm one up. And that's where, frankly, teasing and bullying can be used to put people in a one down or one up position.
And it has nothing to do with size.
It doesn't have anything to do with size.
I mean, seriously,
Right.
People tell me I'm intimidating. Right. I'm a tall guy. I'm a big guy.
Right.
I don't get that. You walk like a mobster, Steve. I don't know what that looks like because I just walk like me. But it has nothing to do with size. Right. It has everything to do with power. And people want power today. I see it all the time.
Who doesn't?
You want power to change the way your life is. You want power to get what you want. You want power, unfortunately, sometimes to get vengeance on somebody who's hurt you.
Absolutely. So it's understandable. I think it's a basic human trait that we want to be if we want to use other words, in control.
Yeah.
I want to be in control of myself. And how often do we joke, well, if I ran the world, I would do it this way or that way, or if I were the boss. We like that.
Yeah.
That's natural. That's normal.
Sure.
That's okay. It's not reality.
No.
in one part. But when we talk about bullies, I do see part of it can be a way to try and maintain control and power. That's something that we can work on as a culture then, is what does real power look like?
Okay, so let's talk to the bully for a second that's listening. Where does that bully go to change? Okay, because I think with some, I won't say all, but when you you're a bully, you turn the light off, you put your head on the pillow.
Yeah.
You're thinking, do I really want to keep living like this? Trying to always one-up somebody, push them down, keep them down, stomp on them, whatever. But I don't know if I can get out of this.
Absolutely.
It's a vicious cycle.
It is, and it's exhausting.
Yeah.
At some point. I think what you're saying, though, is a great first place. There's a part of being aware, practicing awareness of myself and of others and of my priorities and values. I may be doing things unintentionally. I may be bullying unintentionally, frankly.
Yeah.
It may be that this is just what I've learned on how I operate with other people.
And the way I've been treated. Could be by parents or teachers or coaches or whoever.
100%.
Yeah.
And if I have observed from others, this is how I'm okay, and I'm strong, and I'm not weak. I mean, these are all words and things that we want to avoid, which is really power. Once again, control.
It is.
If the only way I've seen that I can really be in control and be in power is by being a bully, of course you're going to act like that.
Sure.
So being aware of how you are impacting somebody else and then reflecting on, is this the way I want to live? I think exactly what you're saying. Are these the values? Is this what I want to be like?
And then being willing, it seems like it takes a lot to say, I want to change.
Sure.
Because that's maybe step 2 after awareness and going through values and priorities. And I love that.
Frankly, be honest with yourself. Do you really want to do something differently? Do you want to be a bully? There are some people out there where I think they really want to be a bully.
I'm a bully. It's
that's a different conversation, probably.
Go to the Urban Dictionary and you Google bully, and their picture is there.
Absolutely. So that's different. I have a feeling if people are really honest with themselves of, is this the life I want to live? Are these the types of relationships I want to be in? Is this how I want people to see me?
No.
Again, it takes awareness, and it takes a little bit of paying attention to how other people might view you. We talked back at the beginning about how I could interpret something that you did, and it could be unintentional.
Sure.
And I interpret it a very different way
Sure.
than you. That's another piece of this.
Yeah.
Is really being open to how might somebody else be interpreting what I'm doing. I may not be thinking it's bullying. I may not be thinking it's even teasing.
Exactly. Yeah, you could be clueless. You're just doing it to do it because you've always done it.
100%.
So,
going back to even how you walk and go into a room.
Yeah.
Being a taller guy, you may be doing something that you're just walking.
I'm just walking.
And somebody can interpret it as a threat.
Yeah.
Is it really a threat? Well, if they experience it as that, that's something to be aware of.
Yes.
I mean, and that's something, I'm about 6 feet as well. As a guy, there's ways of just our presence that unintentionally can appear as a threat. If that is what happens, being aware of that and saying, that's not how I want to come across.
Sure.
And learning and listening to other people. I think that's a piece of it too, is that listening.
Huge.
And go,
Huge.
okay, what could I do differently to help send a message that I really want to send?
Boy, we could talk for hours on this, and we're going to have to talk some more because we really haven't talked about those who are being bullied and what you do. But I've been wanting to talk to you about the bully, like we've talked now, because I think there's a number of people out there listening right now who are bullies or have been bullying, and maybe too somebody listening who isn't a bully and maybe hasn't necessarily experienced bullying, but they know a bully. Maybe they could be a conduit. They could start gently planting some ideas that maybe you want to change. So,
absolutely.
Well, again, we want you to know you can reach out to us at any time. Of course, going to our website, utalkradio.com, there's a contact form there. Reach out to us on social media. All of our social media is at UTalk Radio. Text us, the word UTalk, to 411-247. And of course, phone number 855-508-8255. Josh, let's continue this conversation. And again, thanks for the time today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
UTalk Radio.